Captain Jake Morrison gripped the controls of his cargo ship as another explosion lit up the darkness outside. The new Geneva research station was burning. Pieces of metal and debris floated past his window like deadly snow. He had been delivering supplies when the attack started. Now he was watching people die. "Jake, can you hear me?" Dr. Lisa Parker's voice crackled through the radio. She sounded scared. "They're killing everyone." The aliens just started shooting without warning. Jake pushed his engines harder. His old cargo ship was not built for speed, but he had to try. "I'm coming, Lisa. Get to the escape pods." Through his window, Jake could see the attacking ships. They were sleek and black, nothing like the peaceful trade vessels humans were used to seeing. These were warships. The Hel lHFY had come to kill. "They're not taking prisoners," Lisa said. Her voice was getting weaker. "Jake, they shot Dr. Peterson when he tried to surrender. They're executing everyone." Jake's hands shook with anger. For 200 years, humans had followed the Treaty of Titan. They had given up their weapons. They had become merchants and workers instead of soldiers. The galaxy had promised them safety in return. Now that promise was broken. An escape pod shot out from the burning station. Jake changed course to intercept it. More explosions behind him told him the station was completely destroyed. Thousands of people were dead, scientists, engineers, families, all killed without mercy. "I got you, Lisa," Jake said as his ship's arms grabbed the escape pod. "You're safe now," but safety was a lie. As Jake's ship turned away from the destruction, he saw 3 human cargo ships trying to flee. The Hel lHFY warships caught them easily. Jake watched in horror as the alien weapons tore the ships apart. No warnings, no demands for surrender. Just death. On Earth, Senator Kate Williams sat in the emergency session of the Galactic Council. The alien representatives looked uncomfortable. Some avoided her eyes. Others whispered among themselves. She had been calling for help for 6 hours. No one was listening. "The Hel lHFY has attacked 15 human colonies," Kate said. Her voice was steady, but inside she was burning with rage. "They have killed over 50,000 civilians. When will the council act?" The Vorthic representative, a tall creature with blue skin, spoke without emotion. "The council has reviewed the situation. The Hel lHFY claimed these were military targets." "Military targets?" Kate stood up. New Geneva was a research station. The Titan colony was a farming world. They killed children. "The evidence is unclear," said the Xanthari delegate. "Perhaps humans were hiding weapons. The Treaty of Titan forbids human military activity." Kate felt something cold settle in her stomach. She understood now. The council was not going to help. They were going to let the Hel lHFY kill humans and call it legal. "You're abandoning us," she said quietly. "The council has voted," the Vorthak continued. "Human territorial claims in the outer systems are no longer recognized. The Hel lHFY may proceed with colonization." Kate looked around the room. Dozens of alien species sat in judgment of humanity. They had kept humans weak for 2 centuries. Now they were throwing humans to the wolves. "You think we're helpless," Kate said. "You think we'll just accept this?" "What choice do you have?" The Xanthari delegate made a sound that might have been laughter. "Humans gave up war long ago. You are merchants now, traders, you have no weapons?" Kate smiled. It was not a nice smile. "You might want to check on that." Far from Earth, in the empty space between stars, something was happening. Ships were moving in the darkness. Not the slow cargo vessels the galaxy knew about. These were different, faster, deadlier, hidden for 200 years. Waiting for this moment, Admiral Ryan Cole stood on the bridge of the battleship New York. Around him, displays showed dozens of other ships coming online. The secret fleet was waking up. For 2 centuries, humans had pretended to be weak. They had hidden their weapons, their ships, their anger. Now the hiding was over. "Signal from Earth Command," his communications officer reported. "The treaty is void. All restrictions are lifted," Ryan nodded. He had been waiting for this day since he was a child. His grandfather had fought in the First Contact War when humanity first met the galaxy. The aliens had been shocked by human ferocity then. They had forced the Treaty of Titan to make sure it never happened again, but humans were not the same species they had been 200 years ago. They had learned. They had grown, they had planned. Send the activation codes, Ryan ordered. Wake up every ship, every base, every weapon we've built. Across human space, hidden shipyards came to life. Asteroid bases that looked like mining operations revealed their true purpose. Cargo ships shed their fake hulls to show the warships underneath. The galaxy was about to learn what humans had become when no one was watching, back on his cargo ship. Jake Morrison was heading for Earth when his radio came alive with signals. Military frequencies that had been silent for generations were suddenly active. Ship movements, battle plans, orders for war. All human vessels, this is Admiral Cole, the voice said. The Treaty of Titan is ended. We are no longer bound by galactic law. Repeat, all restrictions are lifted. Jake felt something he had not felt in years, hope and rage. Pure, burning rage at what the aliens had done to his people. Lisa, he called to the escape pod. You might want to hear this. What is it? She asked. The Admiral is about to tell the galaxy something important. Ryan Cole's message went out on all frequencies. Every species in the galaxy would hear it. To the Galactic Council and all member species, you have broken faith with humanity. You have allowed the murder of our people. You have forgotten what we are capable of. The message paused. In that silence, Jake could imagine the fear spreading across 1,000 worlds. You made one mistake, Ryan's voice continued. You forgot that humans don't just fight to win. We fight to make sure our enemies never threaten us again. The leash is broken. Humanity is free, and we remember everything you made us forget? The signal ended. Around the galaxy, alien governments were probably meeting in emergency sessions. They would be asking their military leaders the same question: how strong had humanity really become? Jake Morrison looked out at the stars and smiled. Soon they would all know. The galaxy had unleashed something it was not prepared for. 200 years of forced peace were over. The war was about to begin. General Marcus Stone stood in the underground command center beneath the Rocky Mountains. The room was huge, filled with screens showing star maps and ship movements. For 200 years, this place had been hidden from the galaxy. Now it was the nerve center of humanity's awakening. Report, Marcus said to his aide. Shipyard 7 is at full production. They're launching a new destroyer every 6 hours. Shipyard 12 has completed the first battleship squadron. All hidden bases are responding, Marcus nodded. The aliens thought humans had maybe a few hundred cargo ships. They were wrong. Hidden in asteroid fields, inside moons, and deep in space, humanity had been building the largest fleet in galactic history. What about the new weapons? Marcus asked. Dr. Sam Mitchell looked up from his computer. He was the head of human weapons research. For decades, he had been working on projects that would shock the galaxy. The quantum torpedoes are ready. Phase shift technology is installed on all new ships. The AI warfare systems are online. Marcus smiled. The aliens had no idea what was coming. In space, Commander Beth Hayes sat in the captain's chair of the destroyer Phantom. Her ship was invisible to alien sensors. Phase shift technology made it exist between dimensions. The Zealothy would never see it coming. Target acquired, her weapons officer said. Zealothy Patrol Squadron, 4 ships. Are we recording? Beth asked. Yes, ma'am. Full sensor logs. The galaxy will see this. Beth had volunteered for this mission. She wanted to be the first to show the aliens what humans had become. Fire quantum. Torpedoes. The weapons were invisible until they hit. The Zealothy ships simply vanished. One moment they were there, the next they were gone. Not destroyed, but completely erased from existence. Send the recording to galactic news networks. Beth ordered. Let them see what human weapons can do now. On the planet Zealothy Prime, General Vex watched the recording with growing horror. 4 of his best ships had been destroyed by weapons he did not understand. The human ship had appeared from nowhere, fired and vanished again. How is this possible? he asked his science advisor. "We don't know, sir. Our sensors show nothing. The human ship exists outside normal spacetime." Vex felt fear for the first time in his military career. "How many ships do the humans have?" "We estimate maybe 50 cargo vessels, sir." The advisor was wrong. Very wrong. Captain Nick Taylor led his Marines through the corridors of the Zelithy military base on Kepler Station. His soldiers wore powered armor that made them look like walking tanks. Each suit was armed with weapons that could destroy vehicles. "Resistance ahead," one of his men reported. "Show them what human Marines can do," Nick said, the Zelithy soldiers. "Open fire." Their weapons bounced off the human armor like raindrops. Nick's Marines walked through the gunfire without slowing down. When they fired back, the alien weapons positions simply disappeared. "Facility secured," Nick reported. "No human casualties. All objectives taken." This was happening across Zelithy space. Human special forces were appearing everywhere. They moved like ghosts, struck like lightning, and vanished before reinforcements could arrive. Back on Earth, reporters were gathering outside the military headquarters. For 200 years, Earth had been peaceful. Now they could see warships launching from hidden bases. "General Stone," a reporter called out, "how many ships does humanity really have?" Marcus looked at the camera. The entire galaxy would see this broadcast. "Enough. The Galactic Council says humans violated the Treaty of Titan by hiding weapons." "The Treaty of Titan was broken when the Council allowed the Zelithy to murder our people," Marcus said. "We are no longer bound by it. What are your intentions?" Marcus thought about the 50,000 dead humans, about the families destroyed, about the colonies burned. "We intend to make sure this never happens again." In the hidden shipyards, the construction pace was incredible. Ships that had taken years to build in secret were now being completed in days. The galaxy was about to learn that humans had not been idle during their forced peace. Admiral Ryan Cole watched from his command ship as the fleet assembled. Hundreds of vessels, all invisible to alien sensors. Battleships that could destroy entire fleets. Destroyers that could phase in and out of reality. Carriers launching fighters that moved faster than light. "Status report," Ryan ordered. "Fleet Alpha is in position around Zelithy Prime. Fleet Beta has surrounded the Zelithy military headquarters. Fleet Gamma is standing by at the Galactic Council." Ryan had planned this for decades. While the aliens thought humans were helpless merchants, he had been preparing for war. "Begin Phase 2. Across the galaxy, alien governments were calling emergency meetings. The Vorthek military was trying to understand how humans had developed such advanced technology. The Xanthari were demanding answers from their intelligence services. "They lied to us," the Corvan president said to his cabinet. "For 200 years, they made us think they were weak." "How strong are they really?" asked his defense minister. "We don't know. Our best estimates said they had maybe 1,000. Small ships. Now we're seeing battleships that dwarf our largest vessels." The truth was worse than they imagined. Humanity had built a fleet designed to fight the entire galaxy at once. Dr. Sam Mitchell stood in his laboratory, looking at weapons that would reshape warfare. The phase cannons can fire through shields. The quantum mines exist in multiple dimensions. The AI systems can control entire fleets without human input. "How much firepower do we have?" his assistant asked. "Enough to sterilize every hostile world in the galaxy," Sam said quietly. "But that's not the plan. We don't want to destroy civilizations. We want them to understand they can never threaten us again." In space near the Zelithy homeworld, something impossible happened. A human fleet appeared from nowhere. 200 ships materialized in an instant, surrounding the planet. They had traveled through phase space, invisible to all sensors. The Zelithy defense fleet rushed to meet them. 300 alien ships against 200 human vessels. The aliens expected an even fight. They were very wrong. The battle lasted 12 minutes. When it was over, every Zelithy ship was destroyed. The human fleet had not lost a single vessel. Most of the human ships had not even been damaged. The recording spread across the galaxy within hours. Alien military leaders watched in stunned silence as human technology proved superior in every way. Ships that could not be detected, weapons that could not be stopped, tactics that could not be countered. "Send a message to the Galactic Council," Ryan ordered. "Tell them we want to talk." The message was simple. Humanity requests an immediate meeting with the Galactic Council. "We have proposals for a new treaty. One that recognizes human territorial rights and military equality. We suggest you consider our request carefully." The unspoken threat was clear. The galaxy had seen what happened to those who opposed humanity. The choice was simple: negotiate as equals, or face the consequences. General Marcus Stone received reports from across human space. Every hidden base was operational. Every secret weapon was ready. The sleeping giant was fully awake, and it was angry. "Sir," his aide said, "the Hel are requesting a ceasefire." "Denied," Marcus said. "They wanted war, now they have it." The galaxy was learning a hard lesson. Humans had spent 200 years appearing weak while growing strong. They had hidden their true nature behind smiles and trade agreements. Now the mask was off. The Galactic Council would meet tomorrow. They would have to decide: accept humanity as an equal partner, or watch their civilizations burn. The choice was theirs, but the outcome was no longer in doubt. Humanity had returned to the stars, and this time no one would ever chain them again. Admiral Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the battleship Vengeance, watching the Hel homeworld grow larger on his screens. 6 months ago, he had been running cargo between stations. Now he commanded the largest human fleet ever assembled. The promotion had come fast, but the war had changed everything. "Admiral," his tactical officer said, "we're in position." "All ships report ready." Jake looked at the planet below. 10 billion Hel lived on that world. Their military had killed 50,000 humans. The math was simple. Humanity could turn the entire planet into glass and call it justice, but that was not what humans did, not anymore. "Target military installations only," Jake ordered. "No civilian areas, no cities. We're not here to commit genocide." Dr. Lisa Parker stood beside him. She had survived the attack on New Geneva and now served as his advisor on alien psychology. "The precision strikes will terrify them more than total destruction," she said. "They'll know we could kill everyone but chose not to." "That kind of restraint from a superior force is the most frightening thing possible." Jake nodded. Lisa understood alien minds better than anyone. "Begin the operation." The human fleet moved with surgical precision. Quantum torpedoes struck military bases, destroying them completely while leaving nearby civilian buildings untouched. Phase shift fighters materialized inside enemy command centers, captured the officers, and vanished again. In 3 hours, the Hel military was completely dismantled without a single civilian death. The aliens watching the news broadcasts could not understand it. Why had humanity shown mercy? Why spare the civilians when they could have easily destroyed everything? Colonel Amy Ross understood. She sat in her office on Earth, working on humanity's psychological warfare campaign. The messages were simple, but effective. "To all species of the galaxy," her broadcast began, "humanity offers you a choice. Work with us as equals and prosper. Oppose us and watch your military capabilities disappear overnight. We do not kill civilians. We do not destroy cultures. We simply remove threats." The message was being translated into every galactic language. Amy had studied alien psychology for years. She knew exactly what would frighten them most. "Look at the Hel," the broadcast continued. "Their military attacked human colonies and murdered our people. In response, we dismantled their entire defense network in 3 hours, but notice what we did not do. We did not harm their families. We did not destroy their cities. We removed only those who threatened us." Amy smiled as she recorded the next part. "This is what human warfare looks like. Perfect precision, complete victory, no unnecessary death. We suggest you remember this when deciding your own policies toward humanity." The broadcast ended, but its effects rippled across the galaxy. Alien governments realized they were facing something new. Most species fought with emotion, anger, and hatred. Humans fought with cold calculation and perfect control. President Alex Johnson addressed the Galactic Council from Earth. The alien representatives looked nervous. They had seen what human fleets could do. Now they had to decide what came next. "The Treaty of Titan is void," Alex said calmly. "Humanity will no longer accept restrictions on our military capabilities. We will no longer accept limitations on our territorial expansion. We offer new terms." The Vorthic representative spoke carefully. "What terms?" "Full recognition of human sovereignty over all colonies and territories. Complete military equality with all galactic powers. Representation on all council decisions that affect human interests." "And if we refuse?" asked the Xanthari delegate. Alex's expression did not change. "Then you will join the Zealoty in discovering what happens to those who threaten human security." The threat was delivered without emotion, which made it more terrifying. The aliens were used to angry speeches and dramatic gestures. Alex's calm certainty was something they could not understand or counter. Dr. Lisa Parker studied the psychological profiles of different alien species. Humans were unique in the galaxy. Most species fought until they were exhausted, then made peace. Humans fought until the threat was permanently eliminated. "The Corvan Empire is requesting negotiations," her assistant reported. "Smart," Lisa said. "They've seen what happened to the Zealoty. They don't want to test human resolve." 3 more species had surrendered without fighting. The Nexari had offered to become human allies. The Tolan had asked for protection from other threats. The galaxy was realizing that opposing humanity was pointless. Captain Nick Taylor led his Marines through another Zealoty base. This one surrendered. Before his soldiers even landed, the alien commander met them at the entrance with a white flag. "We surrender," the Zealoty officer said. "Please don't hurt our people." Nick looked at the alien's terrified face. "We're not here to hurt anyone. We're here to make sure you never attack humans again." The pattern was repeating across Zealoty space. Military units were surrendering rather than fighting. They had seen the recordings of human precision strikes. They knew resistance was useless. Admiral Ryan Cole coordinated the campaign from his flagship. The galaxy was watching human forces dismantle the Zealoty Empire piece by piece. Every operation was filmed and broadcast. The message was clear: this is what happens to those who threaten humanity. "Status report," Ryan ordered. "Zealoty military capacity is down 90%. Their government is requesting terms. 5 other species have offered alliance agreements. The Galactic Council has called an emergency session." Ryan smiled. The plan was working perfectly. "Any casualties?" "Minimal, sir. The enemy isn't really fighting anymore. That was the goal. Make resistance seem hopeless while offering attractive terms for cooperation. Humans had learned from their own history. The best victories came when the enemy chose to surrender rather than being forced to fight. President Alex Johnson received a message from the Galactic Council. They were ready to negotiate. The terms would be discussed at an emergency session next week. Representatives from every major species would attend. "They're going to accept our demands," Alex told his cabinet. "They don't have a choice." "What about the species that are still hostile?" asked his defense minister. "They'll change their minds when they see what cooperation with humanity offers," Alex said. "We're not just a military threat. We're also the best partners in the galaxy." That was true. Human technology was advancing faster than any other species. Human trade brought prosperity. Human protection meant security. The smart species were already lining up to be humanity's friends. The Zealoty government sent its final surrender message. They accepted all human demands. War crimes tribunals would judge those responsible for the colony attacks. Reparations would be paid to human victims. Most importantly, the Zealoty would publicly support humanity's right to full galactic citizenship. Colonel Amy Ross watched the alien news broadcasts with satisfaction. Fear was spreading, but so was respect. "Species that had ignored humanity for centuries were now studying human culture, trying to understand how to work with their new equals. The hegemony is requesting a cultural exchange program, her aide reported. Approved, Amy said. The more they understand us, the less likely they are to make the same mistake the HFY made. Dr. Lisa Parker published her report on the war's psychological effects. Alien species were experiencing something they had never felt before, the certainty that attacking humans would result in swift, precise, and overwhelming defeat. But they were also learning that cooperating with humans brought benefits beyond anything they had imagined. Admiral Jake Morrison received new orders. The main fleet would remain in HFY space for 6 months, ensuring compliance with surrender terms. Other human fleets would visit every major alien world, not as conquerors but as reminders of the new reality. Sir, his communications officer sighed, we're getting requests from 12 different species. They want to discuss trade agreements, defense pacts, and technology sharing. Jake nodded. The galaxy was adapting quickly. Set up meetings with all of them. Let them know humanity is open to mutually beneficial relationships. The war was ending, but the real work was just beginning. Humanity had proven they could not be intimidated or restricted. Now they had to prove they could be trusted as partners and protectors. The galaxy was about to learn that humans made better friends than enemies, but they would never again be allowed to forget what happened to those who chose to be enemies instead. Fleet Admiral Ryan Cole stood at the head of the largest conference table in galactic history. Representatives from every major species sat before him. 6 months ago, they had treated humans like second-class citizens. Now they hung on his every word. The new galactic compact is simple, Ryan said. Every species has equal rights. Every species has equal representation. No one power can restrict another's military capabilities. The Vorthic representative shifted uncomfortably. What about species that refuse to sign? Ryan's expression remained calm. They will find themselves very alone in a galaxy that has moved beyond them. Captain Maria Santos commanded the human fleet surrounding the Galactic Council headquarters. 50 ships hung in space around the massive station. They were not there to threaten, but to remind everyone of the new reality. Admiral, her communications officer said, the Council is requesting permission to begin the signing ceremony. Permission granted, Maria replied. But keep the shields up. Some species learn slower than others. Inside the station, Ambassador Kate Williams sat at the high table as an equal among galactic leaders. For 2 centuries, she had been forced to watch from the observer section. Now she helped make decisions that affected trillions of beings. The human proposal for mutual defense is interesting, said the Nexari delegate. If one species is attacked, all members respond? Exactly, Kate said. The old system allowed strong species to prey on weak ones. The new system makes everyone stronger together. Dr. Ben Clark worked in his laboratory on Earth, designing the future. His team was developing reconstruction plans for war-damaged worlds. Human technology would rebuild what the conflict had destroyed, but better than before. The atmospheric processors for HFY Colony 7 are ready, his assistant reported. We can restore their farming capacity in 6 months. Good, Ben said. They need to see that cooperation with humanity brings benefits. Fear keeps the peace, but prosperity makes it last. That was humanity's strategy? Show overwhelming military power, then offer partnership that improved everyone's lives. Species that joined the human alliance found their technology advancing, their economies growing, their people safer. The Corvan Empire had been the first to understand. Their ambassador approached Kate after the morning session. We want full alliance with humanity, he said. Military cooperation, technology sharing, economic integration, and in return? Kate asked. We support human leadership in the galactic government. We provide bases for human fleets. We help enforce the new order. Kate nodded. Smart species were choosing to ride humanity's rise rather than fight it. The Corvan would prosper under human protection. Their old enemies would think twice before. Attacking Corvan worlds now. Fleet Admiral Ryan Cole received reports from across the galaxy. Human fleets were positioned at strategic points, not as occupiers but as peacekeepers. Any species that threatened another would face swift human intervention. The hegemony is moving ships toward Tolan space, his intelligence officer reported. Send the 7th Fleet, Ryan ordered. Make sure the hegemony understands that territorial expansion by force is no longer acceptable. The message was clear. The galaxy now operated under human rules. Disputes would be settled through negotiation or arbitration. War for conquest was forbidden. Species that broke these rules would face consequences. Captain Maria Santos watched as the signing ceremony began. One by one, species representatives signed the new Galactic Compact. Each signature represented a choice: accept humanity as equals or face isolation in a changing galaxy. The Zealothy delegate is signing now, her tactical officer observed. Maria smiled. 6 months ago, the Zealothy had been slaughtering human civilians. Now they were begging for inclusion in the Human-Lead Alliance. The transformation was complete. Dr. Ben Clark unveiled his master plan to the Council. Human technology would upgrade every allied world, faster-than-light communication networks, advanced medical systems, improved agriculture, clean energy sources. This is what partnership with humanity offers, Ben explained. Not just protection from threats, but advancement beyond what any species could achieve alone. The alien representatives studied the proposals with growing excitement. Many of their civilizations had been stagnant for centuries. Humanity was offering them a chance to leap forward technologically. Ambassador Kate Williams addressed the concern that worried many species. Some of you fear human domination. You think we want to rule the galaxy? The chamber fell silent. This was the question everyone wanted answered. We don't want to rule you, Kate continued. We want to partner with you. But we will never again allow ourselves to be restricted or threatened. The choice is yours: work with us as equals or watch from the sidelines as the galaxy moves forward without you. The message was delivered with diplomatic language, but the meaning was clear. Humanity would lead whether others joined or not. Smart species would choose to be part of the new order rather than victims of it. President Alex Johnson received an urgent message from his generals. Long-range sensors had detected something disturbing at the galaxy's edge. Ships unlike anything in the database were approaching. They were not from any known species. How many? Alex asked. At least 1,000. Vessels, sir? Possibly more. They're using technology we don't recognize. Alex felt a chill. Just as humanity had established peace, a new threat was emerging. Alert all fleets. Send the sensor data to our allies. We may need their help sooner than expected. The new threat would test everything humanity had built. The species that had just signed the compact would discover whether human protection was real or just another empty promise. Fleet. Admiral Ryan Cole studied the sensor readings with growing concern. The approaching ships showed no interest in communication. They moved in perfect formation, like machines rather than living beings. Analysis? He asked his science officer. The technology is completely unknown, sir. Energy signatures unlike anything in our database. They're not responding to any communication attempts. Ryan made a decision that would define the new galactic order. Send a message to all compact members. Unknown hostile forces are approaching our galaxy. All species should prepare for possible invasion. The real test was beginning. For months, human fleets had faced down individual species. Now they would face something that threatened everyone equally. Captain Maria Santos received new orders. Her fleet was to join a combined force of human and alien ships. For the first time since the compact was signed, humanity and its former enemies would fight side by side. The Zealothy are sending 3 squadrons, her communications officer reported. The Corvan are contributing their entire fleet, Maria nodded. The old enemies were becoming new allies in the face of a greater threat. This was what humanity had planned for all along. Dr. Ben Clark abandoned his reconstruction projects to focus on new weapons. The approaching enemy used unknown technology. Humanity's current weapons might not be enough. We need to combine human innovation with alien knowledge, he told his team. This is bigger than any one species can handle alone. Ambassador Kate Williams called an emergency session of the Galactic Council. Representatives who had been reluctant to join the compact were suddenly eager to discuss mutual defense. The external threat changes everything, she told the assembly. We can face it together or we can face it alone. I know which option offers better survival chances. The vote was unanimous. Every species, even those that had refused to sign the compact, requested inclusion in the Defense Alliance. The approaching threat had accomplished what months of diplomacy could not: complete galactic unity under human leadership. Fleet. Admiral Ryan Cole prepared for the largest military operation in galactic history. Human fleets would anchor the defense, but alien ships would fight alongside them. The galaxy that had once feared humanity now depended on human protection. The irony was not lost on him. Humanity had fought to prove they deserved equality. Now, they had to prove they deserved the trust that equality brought. President Alex Johnson stood before the combined fleets of 50 species, watching the largest armada in galactic history prepare for battle. Human ships formed the core, but alien vessels from across the galaxy had joined them. Former enemies now fought as allies against a threat none of them fully understood. Contact in 6 hours, his aide reported. The unknown fleet is maintaining course toward the galactic core. Alex nodded. The approaching enemy had ignored all attempts at communication. Their ships moved with mechanical precision, showing no interest in diplomacy or negotiation. They came to conquer or destroy. Grand Admiral Jake Morrison commanded the combined fleet from his flagship. The promotion to Grand Admiral had come just days ago, when the Galactic Council unanimously voted to place all military forces under human command. The alien species trusted human tactical genius more than their own. Fleet status? Jake asked. All ships report ready, sir. Human vessels are at full combat capability. Allied forces are integrating their systems with our command network. Jake watched the tactical display. 2,000 ships from 40 different species, all following human battle plans. The old galaxy had ended. Whatever emerged from this battle would be something new. Dr. Lisa Parker studied the enemy formations from her position in the command center. Her expertise in alien psychology was useless here. These invaders showed no recognizable behavior patterns. They moved like a single mind controlling thousands of bodies. They're not organic, she told Jake through the communications link. No. Individual ship variations, no emotional decision-making. We're fighting machines? Recommendations? Jake asked. Use our greatest advantage. We think creatively, they think logically. Be unpredictable. General Marcus Stone coordinated ground forces across 100 worlds. If the space battle failed, the machine invaders would try to land on populated planets. Every species in the galaxy was preparing for the worst. Earth defenses are ready, he reported to Alex. So are all allied worlds. If they get past the fleet, we'll make them pay for every meter of ground. The machines had made one mistake. They assumed this galaxy was like others they had conquered. They expected divided species fighting each other instead of working together. They were about to learn how wrong they were. The first contact came at the edge of the Nexus system. Human scouts detected the enemy vanguard emerging from hyperspace. The invading fleet was even larger than expected. 3,000 ships, all identical, all moving in perfect formation. My God, whispered Jake's tactical officer. There are so many of them. Numbers aren't everything, Jake replied. Send the signal to all ships. Execute Plan Omega. Plan Omega was pure human thinking. Instead of meeting the enemy in traditional battle lines, the combined fleet scattered into small groups. Each group contained human ships working with alien vessels. Using mixed technology and tactics the machines could not predict, the enemy responded with logical precision. They divided their fleet to pursue the scattered groups. It was exactly what Jake had hoped for. Phase 2, he ordered. All groups execute harassment Protocol 7. Across the battlefield, small combined squadrons struck at the enemy fleet. Like angry wasps, human phase-shift destroyers appeared from nowhere, fired, and vanished. Alien ships with powerful shields provided cover while human vessels with superior weapons did the damage. Dr. Lisa Parker watched the battle unfold. They're adapting, she warned. The machines are learning from each engagement. So are we, Jake replied, but we're learning faster. That was the key difference. The machines adapted through logical analysis. Humans adapted through creative inspiration. And now humanity had the knowledge and experience of 50 different species too. Draw from. Commander Beth Hayes led a mixed squadron of human and Corvan ships deep into enemy territory. Her mission was to find the command vessel controlling the machine fleet. There, her science officer said. That ship is different, larger, more complex, Beth smiled. Target acquired. All ships focus fire on the command vessel. The attack succeeded beyond their hopes. When the command ship was destroyed, 50 nearby machine vessels simply stopped moving. They hung dead in space, waiting for orders that would never come. Broadcast the tactic to all squadrons, Beth ordered. Find the command ships and kill them. The tide of battle began to turn. Human tactical flexibility combined with alien weapons. Technology created combinations the machines could not counter. Zelithy energy cannons powered by human fusion cores. Vorthak shield generators protecting human missile boats. Tolan sensors guiding human stealth ships. President Alex Johnson received reports from across the galaxy. The machine invasion had been detected approaching 12 different star systems. But the combined defense fleets were ready? Humanity's new alliance was being tested in the fire of real combat. Sector 7 reports victory, his communications officer said. Enemy fleet destroyed with minimal losses. Sector 12 is requesting reinforcements, came another report. Send the reserve fleet, Alex ordered. No world stands alone. That was the promise humanity had made to its allies. Attack one member of the alliance and you attack them all. The machines were learning that lesson the hard way, Grand Admiral. Jake Morrison coordinated the largest space battle in galactic history. On his screens, thousands of ships moved in complex patterns across light years of space. Human commanders led mixed squadrons of alien vessels, while alien captains commanded ships with human crews. The enemy main fleet is breaking formation. His tactical officer reported. Jake watched the display with satisfaction. The machines were abandoning their logical formations and trying to adapt human-style flexible tactics. But they were too rigid, too predictable. They could copy human methods, but not human creativity. All fleets, execute final phase, Jake ordered. Converge on the enemy core. The combined fleet moved as one, thousands of ships from dozens of species united under human command. They struck the machine fleet from all directions at once, using every weapon, every tactic, every advantage they possessed. General Marcus Stone watched from Earth as the final reports came in. The machine invasion had been completely defeated. Not a single enemy vessel remained operational. The galaxy was safe. Casualties? He asked. Light, sir. The combined tactics worked better than projected. We lost less than 5% of our forces, Marcus nodded. Human leadership had saved not just humanity, but every species in the galaxy. The Alliance had proven itself in the ultimate test. Dr. Lisa Parker published her final report on the machine invasion. The enemy had possessed superior numbers and advanced technology. But they lacked the one thing that made the galaxy's defense possible, the ability to work together despite differences. The machines failed because they could not understand cooperation, she wrote. They expected us to fight as separate species. Instead, we fought as one people. President Alex Johnson addressed the combined populations of the galaxy. The victory celebration was being broadcast to every world, every station, every ship in known space. Today we proved that diversity is strength, he said. Humans and aliens, former enemies and new friends, all fighting together for the same cause. This is what the galaxy can accomplish when we stand united. The speech was translated into hundreds of languages, but the message was the same in all of them. The old galaxy of isolated, competing species was gone forever. In its place was something new, a true galactic civilization where all species work together as equals. Grand Admiral Jake Morrison stood on his flagship, watching the combined fleet return to their home systems. Human ships flew alongside former enemies, their crews having shared the bond of combat. Veterans of dozens of species had fought and bled together. "Orders, sir?" his communications officer asked. "Stand down to peacetime status," Jake replied. "But maintain the integration protocols?" This fleet proved that we're stronger together than apart. Ambassador Kate Williams walked through the corridors of the Galactic Council Station, now truly the center of galactic government. Representatives from every species worked together on committees and projects that would have been impossible before the crisis. "The new education exchange program is approved," her aide reported. "Students from all member species will study together on integrated campuses." Kate smiled. The children growing up in this new galaxy would know no other way. Humans and aliens learning side by side, working together, building a future that none of them could create alone on Earth. Dr. Ben Clark unveiled his latest project. The Memorial to Galactic Unity would honor all who died fighting the machine. Invasion, human and alien names would be inscribed together, showing that courage and sacrifice knew no species boundaries. "This monument will remind future generations," Ben said at the dedication ceremony, "that peace is not the absence of conflict but the presence of justice, equality, and mutual respect." The galaxy had learned the most important lesson in its history. Strength came not from dominance, but from unity. Not from fear, but from trust. Not from restriction, but from freedom. Humanity had fought to prove they deserved equality. In the end, they had given the galaxy something far more valuable. An example of what equality could accomplish when all species work together toward common goals.